Hey everyone, so it's been a while since I made a video, and as most of you know, I did have a miscarriage, and I wrote down a whole bunch of stuff because I know that I'm going to forget everything, because this is not an easy thing to talk about, and I have been putting it off because I just don't want to experience it all over again, but you all deserve to know what happened, and I might as well just let it all out now. So let's start from the beginning. On Sunday, May 6th, around 10 o'clock, I was just watching TV, and I was home alone, and all of a sudden I felt like this popping sensation down there, and I got up, and right away I just put my hand down there to see what the heck it was, and then I looked and it was just covered in blood. And of course I freaked out, and I thought to myself, of course this is gonna happen to me. I just felt like I have no luck, like everything bad has to happen to me. So, as I'm already getting emotional. So, I went to the bathroom, and yeah, I was bleeding a lot, and it was red blood. And so, I called Justin. He was working nights, and he was just like, oh no, like, he sounded devastated, and I told him not to leave work because he had taken a lot of days off from the week before that I was going through all that stuff. And so I told him, don't worry about it. I'll see if I could just sleep on it and then go to the hospital tomorrow when you get home. But then I told my mom what was happening, and she right away was like, I'm coming down. And so she took me to the hospital, and I was feeling some cramping, but not very much. And let's see if I can remember it all. So we waited about 3 hours, and then they did blood work and scheduled me an ultrasound for the next day. So my HCG level was 25,000. And I was supposed to be measuring 9 weeks 1 day, and then my last menstrual period I would have been 10 weeks 3 days. So when she told me it was 25,000, I was like, that's horrible. And she's like, well, the last time we have on record your HCG level was, she said 12,000? Yeah, 12,000. And I mean, that was like 3 weeks ago. So I told her, I'm like, that's horrible. She's like, but at least it's going up. And I'm like, what do you mean it's going up? You don't know what it was in between, so obviously it could have been higher and it's going lower. And she just made like a very like confused face, like, well, she didn't want to tell me any bad news, which I was fine with, whatever. Let's see, this is so hard for me to go back and remember. Let's see. So I did have the ultrasound the next, yes, okay, now I remember. I was having cramps. They were starting to get stronger. And then when I went for the ultrasound, the cramps were horrible. I guess they're like contractions when you're having a miscarriage, because like every like 3 to 4 minutes, something like that, I would get this intense, sharp pain, like in my lower abdomen, and it hurts so bad. So I got the ultrasound. The lady didn't let me see anything at all. She said, you need to go back to the emergency, pick a number, of course, wait another 3 to 4 hours, just to hear what I already knew was happening. And I was getting really, really big clots coming out, like this size, like huge. And it was just clots. There was no tissue or anything. So I mean, I still had a little bit of hope, but most of it was gone. and I didn't wait at the hospital for the results. I made an appointment with my doctor on May 9th, which was like 3 days before I started bleeding, 3 days after I started bleeding. And before the appointment, no, I went to the appointment first. Okay, so I went to, sorry, this video is all over the place. It's hard to remember everything, how it happened, because I've been trying to block it out this whole time. So I went to the doctor appointment, and I told him what was going on. It was just clots, nothing was coming out, and the pain that day was completely gone. There was no cramping, nothing. I was just bleeding. And he told me the results from the ultrasound, and he said the ultrasound basically, and it was just over the stomach, the ultrasound. He said she found the fetus, but there was no heartbeat. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I still had a little bit of hope because, you know, I have the inverted or tipped uterus. So I thought maybe it was just hard to find the heartbeat, because I was kind of happy that I said she found the fetus right away. And then I just basically told him, I'm like, this is my 4th loss. And right away he's like, no, this is your 2nd, because I only have it documented that it's your 2nd. I'm like, I know, but I've had like chemical pregnancies, and I know that it was because I was like, my periods were intense, painful, and I was getting positives on my test, and he wouldn't have it. He said, nope, you've only had 2. This is very normal. Girls go through this. I know you're taking it hard, but this is normal. Just remember, it's normal. And I'm like, well, maybe since you have this for this since I'm here for the 2nd time for this, maybe people will start taking me seriously. And I guess he got offended by me saying that. But you know what? I don't care. I'm just fed up with that doctor, because even when I found out that I was pregnant, I told him that I wanted to get my progesterone checked. I was trying to get them to take me seriously. Like, I don't understand why they couldn't do some more testing or care. That like when I found out I was pregnant, they treated me like I've never had a loss. Like, oh, you're pregnant, well, everything's fine, blah blah blah. So I told him I want to see a specialist, I want to do this and this and this, and he's like, okay, I'll refer you to a specialist and do some genetic testing or whatever. So that appointment was like May 9th, that was like a week ago, something like that. And I called them yesterday, and I'm like, do you have the referral yet? And she's like, oh no, but I'll remind him. And I'm like, how long does it take to get a referral? I've asked him even before this miscarriage that I wanted to see a specialist, and he's never gotten back to me. So I'm just so frustrated. So today I am, after the appointment, let's talk about that. So after the appointment, I still didn't have cramps, but I was bleeding. And I mean, I still had a little bit of hope in me, of course, because I hadn't lost the fetus. And then I went to the bathroom, and something big came out. But when I looked at it, it was kind of just like a sac. Like, it was tissue, and it was like kind of long, but it wasn't a fetus at all. It was just like a sac or something. So I was like, okay, that was weird. Maybe there was no baby. Maybe I don't know what's going on. But then, like an hour later, the same thing. I was watching TV, and I felt another like little pop, or like something came out, and I like jumped up, and I'm like, oh my god. So I went to the bathroom, and sure enough, the fetus had came out. And so I looked at it, of course, like I did the first one, and I just stared at it and just looking at it and like, whatever. Some people can't look at it, but I'm the type of person that I have to just stare at it and just, I had to really take in everything. And the difference between this one and the other one. This one had arms, and the first one didn't. It didn't have like a perfect shape to it. You could just define like the head, spine, and arms and stuff. So yeah, that's when I broke down. I completely broke down, because that was when I officially just knew that it was gone. So that was really hard. And yeah, so I wrapped it up and I put it in a plastic bag, and Justin asked what I wanted to do with it, and I said let's bury it in our garden, because the first time I gave it to the hospital, and I thought that they were going to do testing or whatever they do with it, and when I asked what they did with it, they said nothing, we can't test it because it's too early. So this time I said I was not going to give it to the hospital. It might not be much to you, but this is my child. I didn't carry it for long, but I wanted to bury it, so buried it. We went out. Well, I was a mess. I kept crying, and then Justin cheered me up a little bit, and he's like, let's go out, let's just, you know, so I wouldn't be at home depressed. So we went out, we bought some flowers, and we planted it around it. It was hard. But like, stuff happens to me, and then when I feel better, I think throughout this, it's made me stronger. It still affects me, but I can get over it a little faster and be strong. But then when something comes up or it reminds me of it or anything, I break down. And so I've been fine. And then Mother's Day came, and the whole time I felt like a little weird. Everyone was, you know, all over my Facebook, and in person was like, everyone was like, Happy Mother's Day and Happy Mother's Day, and I just felt like this. I felt like this emptiness, like, what makes me not a mother? That might be silly, but it's just how I felt. So I guess Justin felt that I was feeling that way, and he went out and he bought me flowers and a teddy bear, and that made me feel really good, because it's like I had some, I don't know how to explain it, like some recognition that like I am a mother. So today I am cycle day 11. I'm done bleeding. I stopped bleeding around cycle day 7, and then it was like kind of on and off. It was mostly just brown, and then we baby danced, and then I was bleeding a little more after that, but it wasn't a lot. So I'm officially done bleeding, which is good. What else? I'm gonna make a separate video on like moving forward, what I'm gonna do and stuff, but I will say that I'm not giving up, and I know that I'm going to proceed with seeing a specialist, excuse me, and I'm going to keep harassing my doctor for a referral to a specialist, because if he doesn't soon, then I'm just going to call around, and I don't know, but I'm going to fight for something to happen. What else? I'm off of Vitex, just for now. I don't know if I'm going to go back on it. I guess it didn't really help the first time, so I might try different things, like baby aspirin and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's basically it. And also, just a big, huge thank you to everyone that's been so nice to me, with all your encouraging and caring messages. I've read every single one of them, and every time I read them, I feel a sense of peace and like people like care. And I haven't told, like, no one knows except for my parents and my sister. Well, I don't even know if my sister knows that I lost it, because we haven't talked about it, but it's nice to know that I have people that care. And I'm glad that I didn't tell, like, the family and then have to deal with all this, because it's different when it's like most of you girls have gone through what I've gone through, and so you understand at that level. Now, if I were to tell my family, then it's just a different kind of, I don't know how to explain it. So yeah, I'm just so thankful for you guys, and I am doing a lot better. It's just like things like my sister-in-law's baby shower, and then dealing with a lot of stuff. A lot of people I know are pregnant. I just hope that I can find some strength to deal with it all. It's not their fault that I'm going through this and they're happy with the baby. I just have to find some strength in myself. So yeah, I think that's about it. Hopefully my journey will have a happy ending soon. So yeah, thanks again, and I'll see you soon. Bye.